Okay, welcome to students of SEGi College Subang Jaya and also SEGi College Kuala Lumpur. And this particular video that I'm going to also send a link to you guys is for final class for news reporting. Yeah. So for today, it will be at least one, two, three, four, five topics we're going to cover. Yeah. But I'm going to go point by point, so easy for you to understand. And if so, you can also read. Yeah. You can also read through the slide as well, just to guide you along the way. Yeah. Now, today we talk about basic news leads. Okay, sorry for the if you see I'm coughing everything, sorry, not in a good health. Yeah. Now, for this one, you're going to learn, and then lesson you're going to learn about define what news lead is and importance of it. Identify different types of news leads, clear writing, and also compelling news leads, and evaluate effectiveness of news lead. Okay. Now, what is lead? Lead or lead A is the opening sentence of paragraph of a news story. Whether it's online or physical, whatever you read, news, there's going to be the first thing you're going to read. That is the lead story. Serve as a hook that grabs the reader's attention. And most important, information is in the lead. Then it goes to the body. Yeah. For example, a massive fire broke out in downtown shopping mall early this morning, causing extensive damage and injuries at least 5 people. Clear, concise, compared to just a very lame and also quite quite easy. That is, there was a fire at a shopping mall. There's no interest in it. There's no interest. There's no action. There's no instruction that we can imagine of the news itself. Nothing. It's just a lazy writing. Yeah. Next. Now, in newspaper, you can find this. Yeah. You can find this. Springfield Bow Racks hold bow hunting seminar on July 9th. Example here. Example here. Okay. Okay. Importance of strong lead is a good news lead attracts the reader's attention or interest, provide the key information, the 5W1H, set the tone, and encourage further reading along the line. Okay. Now the 5W1H lead should have this, yeah. Who is involved, what happened, when did it happen, where did it happen, why it happened, and how did it happen. So you have these newsworthy elements of all these 5W1H. At least you got 3 of the 5W1H in your lead. You can't pack everything in your lead. Yeah. Now, type of leads: summary, anecdotal, question, descriptive, quotation, contrast, and delayed leads. Yeah. Now, summary leads, we call it as straight news lead or hard news lead. Okay. Summarize the most important in one sentence. Yeah. At least you got 3 from the 5W1H. And it must be clear, concise, and answer the what, where, when, who. Example, a powerful earthquake struck central Japan. Okay, what is it? Earthquake. Where? Central Japan. When? On Tuesday. Who? Killed at least 50 people and leaving hundreds injured. And who again? According to reports. Yeah, authorities reported. Example. Yeah. Next. Sorry. Yeah. Now, anecdotal leads starts with short, interesting story to introduce a topic. Okay, used for feature story. Yeah, not for those hard news. No, this for feature story. For example, as Maria Lim rushed her 3 children out of the building, out of the burning house, she had only one thing in her mind: survival. You know what I mean? That's the starting point. That is a short storytelling before you go to the main news. Yeah, because you have to have human interests and build connection before you reveal the whole story. It's like a teaser. It's like a teaser, you know what I'm saying? It's like a teaser. That's what we call it the anecdotal leads. Yeah. Next, question leads used with caption. Yeah. Open with question that makes reader think. Yeah. Effective for opinion piece or feature. Again, not hard news. Anecdotal, not hard news. Question leads is not hard news. It's more about it's more about revealing something or to question your knowledge. For example, yeah, the bad thing is this, yeah. Did you know road accidents increase during the festive season? Did you know? Of course we know. Okay. But when you twist the question, what caused road accidents to spike every festive season? What caused it? Okay. The one is the obviously we know accidents happen during festive season. A lot of cars, jam. But what caused the accidents? Maybe by sleep, the car maintenance, the road maintenance, and everything. Okay. For example, here, expert says reckless driving and fatigue are the top reason. If you are driving correctly, but the other drivers on the road are not, for sure you're gonna get into accident. Example, okay, it's either you or the person who drive the car who will cause the accident. Example, next, descriptive lead. Use vivid imagery to paint scenes. This one is for feature stories, human interest, peace, and travel writing. Now you see, uh, and the doctor just now, and this one is more about human interest. Yeah? Create atmosphere of emotion before giving the news. Example, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting an eerie glow over flood-ravaged village. Okay, children clung their mothers as rescue boats arrived, bringing supplies and hope. It's a story of. It's a story. No, no, no. It's a report about flood, but they make it as if it's a storytelling, a future story. Okay, they want you to understand what really happened during flood situation. Example. Okay. Now, quotation leads. They give memorable quotes from a key figure in a story. Yeah? Only use if quotes is powerful and self-explanatory. Okay, and must follow the context immediately. Okay. Example: I thought I was going to die, said survivor Ahmad Karim, recounting his escape from collapsed building. So it sounds dramatic. Quotation leads. Yeah, memorable quotes that will make the story move forward into a very interesting kind of angle. But for this, it's not really for hard news, no. It is for soft news. It's more soft news, yeah. Next, contrast leads. Highlight a surprise, contrast, or contradiction, often used in investigative journalism. For example, he used to be a city's most respected doctor. He used to be the city's most respected doctor. Now he's behind bar for fraud. See that? That's the drama behind it. The positive side of the person is mentioned first, then negative side of the person will be mentioned later on. And then start the story. The 5W1H asking what happened to the doctor will be answered by the 5W1H. And make the reader more curious and want to know more and more and more. As in want to open the in. Want to open, want to know more and more. Okay? Example here. Now, delayed leads, suspenseful leads. Yeah? Okay. Hold back the main point to build suspense. Common in feature writing and long realism. Example, for years, the old mansion on Bukit Sentosa remained abandoned. It was covered in graffiti. Last night, it became the scene of shocking discovery. A missing child was found inside. Okay, it keeps the reader want to read more because the hook is nice. The hook uh is is kind of investigative. It's kind of mystical. Okay, and want you to delve into the mention deeper. Okay, encourage you to read more. And when you read more, then you can find a missing child was found inside. Then you're going to read about the 5W1H of the child itself. You know what I mean? That's the delay suspect. Delay leads, suspenseful leads. Okay, good for long form journalism. Now, Common mistake in writing leads too much information. So avoid clutter, avoid vague. Don't make the reader guess. Starting with a question that doesn't engage. Use cliche or overused phrases and being overly dramatic. Stick to the facts, even though the storytelling is dramatic, but stick to the fact of the first W1H and also keep it newsworthy. Whether it's human interest writing, what else? Whether it's all of this writing, make sure it is always going to be newsworthy behind it. Yeah. So writing effectively, checklist, keep it short and impactful. Usually use 25 words if possible, if can. Avoid unnecessary details of fluff. Prioritize clarity and consciousness, and use active voice for stronger impact. A weak lead means that a committee meeting was held to discuss a new education policy. Weak, because it does not tell you about an urgency, but a strong lead. The Education Ministry approved a new policy today, changing how students will be assessed in national exam. You got the Education Ministry, yeah, to stronger your lead, and also it is talking about the national examination. Okay, much better, right? Okay, class activity. This will be done by our local students here, Sabre Sarawak. Okay, but this is activity lah, yeah. But if you want to try also can. You try yourself also can have this activity, yeah. Now, we go to the next. Hold on, give me time first. Hold on, give me time first. Okay, welcome back. Now, you go into interviews, yeah. Interviews. I think this class, we have so many holidays on Monday, correct? Since middle of March, no, middle of March until we go for Monday holidays for Raya, I think for Raya and so on. I forgot, yeah. But there's always going to be holiday on Monday, yeah. Now, get back to the class, yeah. Week 9 interview, okay, interview. Right. Learning objective. By the end of the session, students should be able to understand the purpose and significance of interviews in news reporting, identify different types of interviews and their application, develop effective questioning techniques, and apply ethical principles in interview. Okay, next. Now, introduction. An interview is structured conversationally between journalists and a source of gathered information, insights, and perspective of a news story. Yeah? Interviews help journalists to verify facts, human interests, provide credible news reports. Interview are the heartbeat of good journalism, because if you're just taking news for granted, for example, take all of the social media posting and become and turn it into a prime time news content. No, we've seen it. If you are a good kind of, how do you say, if you follow news on TV, for example, TV3, prime time news, or in Malaysia, muncul tambah TV3, but I call it prime news, I call it prime time news. Prime time news. 89% of the content is coming from viral news, whether it is about viral news on social media. They take it, turn it around, and make it a prime time news content. How lazy can it be? Lazy, kan? But if you go to other newspaper outlets or TV outlets, for example, Astro Awani, they really go into news, less for entertainment. If you want to talk about entertainment, viral news, videos, you can go to other news outlet. You can. but it's a prime time news. They want to know what's happening around the world, the facts, and also what is happening right now. For example, what happened in the Middle East. So that's why a lot of professors from universities, either from local or international, they talk about geopolitics. They have the chance to be interviewed by these TV channels because they are the how do you say? They are the how do you say this now? They are the professional, or to say professional, or they are the subject matter expert of that particular issue of war in the Middle East, example lah. Okay, so they've been interviewed. So the info might be better compared to just take from any other sources. Okay. The role of interview in news reporting, interviews are essential for gathering first-hand information sources, providing expert opinion to support claims, adding credibility and authenticity to news stories, humanizing news, yeah, direct quotes and personal narrative is much better, and clarify ambiguity in news events. For example, there are certain areas that even viewers and yourself don't really get it about, for example, about what happened in the Middle East, the war in the Middle East. But if you bring the expert to come, you interview the expert, then you will know, oh, this is what happens actually, compared to just looking at information from TikTok lah, from social media lah. No, better go for the source, or we can say it as the from the horse's mouth. Ah, much better. Okay, next. Now, type of interview in journalism, formal interview, pre-arranged. Form is that you pre-arrange the time, you have the script, sorry, you have the script, structured question, and then you find it more better lah. Informal interview, you can do it. Spontaneous conversation, often for background information, can. Or you want something that is more natural, go for formal interview. Then you go for the formal. Investigative interview means that in-depth question uncover hidden information. Investigative interview. Personal interview, focus on an individual's achievement, experience, and perspective. Group interview, multiple source of interview together, often in panel discussion. Email, online interview conducted via email, social media, or video call. Number 6, email or online interview. Now, to prepare interview, you have to research the subject, understand the topic. Then you define the objective, what you want from this interview. Prepare question, open-ended, close-ended, yeah. The setting, either face-to-face, on the phone, or online, or sitting, physical, yeah. Technical preparation, if you're using online, make sure your online, the line is stable, Wi-Fi is stable, everything is stable. If you're using direct approach, if you face to face, make sure the record device is on, whether you want to video it or you want to record on the recorder, make sure everything is properly working. Yeah. And ethical consideration, be transparent about the purpose of the interview. Okay, it means that when you want to interview someone, you need to tell them what is the reason and what they want to get out of this interview, so that the person can give you whatever they want to say, or adequately to give you information, not too much, not too less. Okay, preparing interview. Next, questions of types of questions for interview. Open-ended question, encourage detailed response. Example, can you describe how the event unfolds? Close-ended question requires brief factual answer. Example, did the accident occur at 5 p.m.? Yes or no? Example. Follow-up question, probe deeper in the response. Example, can you clarify what you meant by that? For example, you did say something on this particular magazine regarding a particular subject of interest. Can you elaborate on that? Follow-up question, yeah. Loaded question may implies assumption should be used cautiously. Loaded, for example, What do you think government? Why do you think government failed to handle the crisis? So you throw the question. Just let me slow down. Loaded question. It says you throw it to the speaker and let him answer. That's dangerous. That's dangerous because it's not scripted and the person can answer according to his or her bias. Quite dangerous, lah, actually. Loaded question. Yeah. Hypothetical question. Encourage speculative thinking. Example, what would you do differently if you were in charge? If you were in charge of the situation in the Middle East. Ah, hypothetical question. When you put that question out, the person that you interview might have a bit of how to say reserve. Reserve means he or she don't want to expose so much, or he or she just want to be neutral of the issue that's happening in the world today. Okay, means that you must be sensitive of the issue happening. Yeah. So, beginning of the interview, establish rapport, introduce yourself, explain the purpose of the interview, ask warm-up questions. Number two, conduct the interview, listen actively and maintain eye contact, take notes and record responses, stay neutral and avoid influencing answers. Means you don't influence your answer. No, you don't put your answer on his mouth. Means you want the person, the person you interview answer the way you want the answer to be. You know what I mean? That means that you don't put your words in his or her mouth. Let them speak accordingly. Yeah, right. Concluding the news at the interview, summarize the points and ask if the interviewee wants to add anything to the session. Okay, and I believe a 1 hour session not enough. Maybe 2 or 3 hours should be enough. Then you can have to trim down the info to get the most out of it. Yeah, that's techniques of effective interview. Build trust. Because you want to interview the person, build trust first. Ask question that makes them open up. It's an icebreaker question. Okay? Be an active listener. You listen. You don't put your words into his answer. You know what I mean? Let him or her speak. Yeah? Be active listener. Listen, only listen. Yeah? Adapt. Adapt means that you follow the flow of the interviewer. You follow. For example, interviewer uh, like to sound academic. So you have to put yourself in an academic position. Yeah. So you play your role. For example, the interviewer is very casual, but he has the knowledge. Very casual, but has the knowledge. Okay. So how you tap into that knowledge? You have to find the trickle spot that person will eventually open up. For example, you interview Dato' Tony Fernandez. Yeah, you interview him. You need to do some background check on Dato' Tony Fernandez. What he likes, music. He is from a music background. Okay, so talk about music and everything. Then you switch into the main topic of Asia going forward. Example, yeah. Silence as tool. Pause can encourage interviewees to reveal more. Okay. Paraphrasing and clarification. So you want to clarify, saying that. So you're saying that to avoid misinterpretation. Make sure the info is very concise. Yeah, very concise. Next, ethical consideration interview, informed consent, accuracy, fairness, confidential, avoiding deceptions. Okay, these are all under ethical consideration. Okay. Challenges in conducting interview, uncooperative sources. Some may refuse to answer or be evasive because when you ask question, maybe the question is very sensitive, or they just don't want to answer. Yeah. Time constraints, limited availability of sources, emotional situation, interviewing victims of sensitive cases, emotional situation means you can't directly ask question to survivors of earthquake or survivors of tsunami. You can simply ask them that question. Take, give them time because of their traumatic experience, PTSD. Okay, language barrier. Yeah, need for translator if you want to ask question to non-English speaker, and legal risk. Yeah, defamation and misrepresentation of the concern. Okay, this one is for students' work. Yeah, this one, this all this for student lah. For student work. Yeah, example lah. These are also work. If you want to try yourself, also can for this one. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's go for next one. Yeah, hold on. Okay, guys, welcome back. Now we go for the legal and ethical consideration for news reporting. Yeah. Now, journalism plays a critical role in informing the public, holding power accountable, and shaping society. Okay. So, however, journalists must balance freedom of speech with legal responsibility and ethical standards. Yeah. Okay. So, this will cover legal restriction and ethical challenges faced in news reporting. Okay. Legal consideration. Okay. Defamation. Defamation occurs when false information is published that harms a person's reputation. There are two types. One is libel, written documents, okay, written defamation, for example, newspaper, website, social media. Slander, spoken defamation, for example, TV broadcasting, radio interviews. Spoken and also one is written. Okay, libel and also slander. Next. Why is it important for journalists? Yeah, journalists must ensure their reporting is factual, accurate to avoid lawsuit. Even accidental false reporting can lead to serious legal consequences. Yeah, if something is untrue, you will get sued. Okay, the company that you serve will get sued. Your editor in chief will get sued. You yourself will get sued because nowadays people love suing to get money, even though they will have to wait 2 or 3 years to get this. Sue. Defamation, defense and case study. How can journalists defend themselves? Truth. Sorry. Defamation is true, it's not defamatory. Privileges. Some statements, for example, Court of Parliament reports, are legally protected. Fair comments. Opinions based on verification facts are protected. Means that fair comments means if it is true, then you have a scandal. Or artist A have a scandal with artist B. Everyone knows it. It's in the media, whatever it is. But when it comes to you, if you cover the story, you get sued because it's not fair. But it's fair because it's already people already know about it. So it's fair comment. Yeah. Case study, New York Times versus Sullivan, 64. A landmark US case that protected media from lawsuit unless actual malice was proven. Yeah. Impact made it harder for public figures to sue journalists, allowing more investigative reporting. When you do investigative reporting, means there's no chance for you to get sued. Copyright. Copyright protects original content, article, image, video from being used without permission. Copyright laws prevent journalists from stealing others' work. Means that it's important. Plagiarism. Okay, journalists must credit their sources to maintain integrity. Okay, using someone's word without credit can lead to firing, lawsuit, and loss of credibility. Okay, example here. A reporter copies an investigative article from another website without citation. If caught, they could face legal consequences and damage for reputation. Now, understanding privacy law, yeah, rights for privacy versus interest, yeah. Private individuals have the right to keep personal information confidential. However, public figures, celebrities, politicians have less privacy when their actions affect society. Private figure, private figure is for the public. You know what I mean? The prime minister is for the public. Because the public vote for the prime minister and vote for the prime minister's government. Okay. Example: exposing political hidden business dealing. Illegal invasion of privacy, example, journalists secretly recording a private conversation inside someone's home without permission. This could lead to lawsuit. Okay. Concept of court and court reporting. What is concept of court? Now, publishing materials that infers with a trial and respect of the judge. Now, rule journalists must follow. Yeah? Avoid prejudicial trial. Reporting biased information can influence jury decision. Okay, and do not reveal identity, especially in case involving minors or sexual assault victim. Do not reveal identity. That's what happened to the case of Adik Zara. Okay, Adik Zara. Okay, chances for Zara because individuals involved they don't put their names. Okay, no, they don't put their names. Yeah. Okay, example: a journalist leaks sensitive evidence before trial ends, leading to unfair trial and potential legal punishment. Okay, national security and censorship. Government is strict and on press freedom. Many countries have laws. Yeah, okay. Many countries have laws restrict reporting on national security matters. Yeah, government may censor or shut down news outlets that publish sensitive information. For example, Edward Snowden case. Okay, if you know, that is former NSA contractor leaked classified US surveillance program, sparking debates on press freedom versus national security. Okay. Ethical observation, journalist ethics overview. What are ethics in journalism? Ethics importance. Why importance? Ethical journalism ensure credibility, fairness, and public trust. Without ethics, misinformation and bias can harm society. The key ethical principles are truth and accuracy, independence, fairness, and accountability. Yeah. Truth and accuracy, always verify facts before publishing. Independence, avoid conflicts of interest. Fairness, represent all sides of the story. Accountability, admit mistake and correct efforts. Accuracy and fact checking. What is accuracy crucial? False reporting can damage reputation and mislead case public. Always cross-check sources before publishing. Okay. Example in 2020, a news website falsely reported a celebrity death, causing public panic, and celebrity later clarified that they were alive. Yeah, they were alive. Next, bias and objectivity reporting. Okay, what is bias? Bias occurs when journalists favor one side of the story to another. Bias can be intentional or unintentional. Yeah. How to say neutral objective? Sorry. How to stay objective, use neutral language, include multiple perspectives. Example, a TV channel that only reports positive news about the government may be accused of bias. Okay. Sensational and clickbait. What is sensational? Sensational is exaggerating or distorting news to attract more viewers. What is unethical? Create panic, misinformation, and public distrust. Example, aliens found on Mars. A fake headline designed to grab attention, but not based on evidence. Aliens found on Mars. Here, reporting of sensitive issue, crime, tragedy, and suicide, ethical guidelines to sensitive topics, Do not glorify or exploit suffering. Use responsible language, for example, avoid saying commit suicide. Instead, just say died by suicide. And example, ethical media, avoid showing graphic image of crime victims. Media laws in Malaysia, okay. Why do we have media laws? To regulate, prevent defamation, false reporting, and as well, threats. Sorry, to control content that may incite racial or tension. tension. The Malaysian media operates under a mix of legal restriction and self-regulation. Okay. The key laws affecting media freedom include Printing Press and Publication Act, PPPA, 1984, Communication and Multimedia Act, CMA, 1998, Official Secret Act, OSA, 1972, Defamation Act, 1957, Seditions Act, 1948, Copyright Act, 1987, and Personal Data and Protection Act, PDPA, 2010. Okay, so this can you can read yourself. Print, Press and Publication Act, PPPA, 1994. Okay, Communication and Multimedia Act, important, this one important. Prohibits false news, disinformation, hatred speech, online debates. Punishment, Official Secret Acts, OSA, 1972, can read yourself. Defamation Act, 1977. Okay. Seditions Act, for example here, Malaysian Catholic Zuna was charged under the Seditions Act for publishing political cartoons criticizing the government. Copyright Act, okay. Protect original journalistic content from being copied without permission. Okay. Copying an entire article from another source without creating the original source. Personal Data Protection Act, PDPA 2010. Okay. Your private data protected. And media censorship in Malaysia. Okay. Government controls print and media. Internet blocks, film TV censorship. For example, Malaysia kini, the bad news site, there's multiple government blockades for reporting on corruption cases. Now, conclusion, journalists must balance legal and ethical responsibility. Truth, fairness, and accuracy are the foundation of good journalism. Always question legal or ethical or in public interest. Media laws are necessary to regulate journalism but not be abused. Journalists must navigate legal risk, and good journalism is about truth, fairness, and responsibility, even under strict laws. Right? Okay, hold on. You go for next slide. Okay, now writing both radio and TV news. Okay, right? So what is the difference? Radio and TV news written for listeners and viewers audience. Unlike print and online news, the audience read at their own pace. Okay. Words are spoken once, so writing must be clear, concise, and immediate, understandable. Yeah. Simplicity, pace, and impact. TV news, visual carry part of the story. For example, here, TV3, RTM, Bernama, and SARAWAK. Okay. For radio, it's more about how you imagine, and it's more of the directive. Yeah. More of the directive. Yeah. Yeah. For radio, writing for ear, short, simple sentence, conversational tones, active voice, present tense, avoid jargon. Okay. Over here. Right. For TV, TV news requires writing that complements visual. Is the see and say, follow the video flow, and spoke in rhythm. You have to spoke in rhythm. Means it's not monotonous, it's rhythmic. It's rhythmic. Although you are reading from the teleprompter, but it is a rhythmic kind of flow. Okay. Broadcasting, writing styles tips, present tense, active voice, keep title shorts, round number of clarity, and natural transition. Means, yeah, for example, number four here, about 20 people instead of 23 individual. Individual means satu, dua, tiga. 20 people means huge number, even though it's 20, huge number. Yeah? Use the words, you have to use the words correctly. Okay. Next, you still need to use the pyramid inverted pyramid, the pyramid inverted pyramid model. So you need to use that one. Okay. TV script, example here, TV script. Okay, you can try your own. Okay, hold on. Hold on, saya lihat. So, hold on, hold on. The script is here. Now, term used for script writing. These terms is for knowledge, yeah? For basic knowledge. If you want to know, want to use also can, but it's also basic knowledge. Yeah. Radio script, example. Here, example the radio script. Always use cap words. Okay. 5-second rule. Keep sentence under 50 words. The words 1, 2 per sentence, 1 thought per sentence. Use short, strong verbs and cut adjective. Yeah? Cut adjective. Oh, sorry. Cut adjective unless they add meaning. Yeah. For radio and TV news, reader, anchor, reader without visual, voice over, okay, VO, SOP, sound of tape, PKG, package, video live shots. Yeah. For example, here, Asharawani, TV, voice over, anchor, show, Merdeka celebration. Package reporter field piece on Borneo Cultural Festival. Package is the video that's shown about the Sarawak. And live shot is covering the venue for GV16, GE16 voting count dengan di Sarawak. Example. Interview for broadcasting before, during, after. Example here, and also for Malaysia, example, the first situation. Okay. Common mistakes, using complex or academic language, overloading, script with false and stats, writing for reading instead of speaking. Yeah. So when you're writing, script, it is for it is basically for speaking rather than reading. Yeah. And forgetting the audience talking. Yeah. Forgetting the audience, talk to them, not at them. Means a news anchor talks to the audience, not talking at them, but talking as if two-way communication. Yeah? That's why if anchor person, yeah, if anchor being replaced by AI, you don't want to feel the human touch. Okay, that's the thing. Right? Summary, radio and TV news must be clear, concise, conversational. Okay? Radio, right for the ear. TV, right for the ear and eyes and ears. Use active voice, present tense, and simple words. Always match your word with your audience and platform. And Malaysia Broadcaster News is great local reference. Okay? And finally, hold on. Okay, now last for class this semester for online class, that is for writing for digital media. Okay, right? Digital media. Now it's different because it's different platform. Okay, different, and also it talks about 24 hours news availability, instant updates. Okay, multiple format, audio, video, multimedia, text, everything inside this digital media journalism. Everything inside. And you see going for social media platform or even through their own website. Yeah. Characteristics is scannable SEO means the news is going to be the first to pop up in Google search. SEO using keyword, okay, multimedia interaction, hyperlink, example. So article structure, headline, lead, body, multimedia, hypertext, and the first 100 words matter the most. Means your hook must be powerful. Your hook for online news, yeah, must have combined with good picture, lah, good caption. Okay. SEO, relevant keyword, descriptive headline, alt text, reputable sources, meta description. Okay. Says.com use keywords like budget 2025 Malaysia highlights to put it as a trending topic. Okay. What makes a good headline? Informative, effective format, okay, and easy to understand. Okay. Types of leads, summary leads, elemental leads, questionnaire leads, and descriptive leads. These four are mostly being used in online news. Okay, some of needs, some needs, and total needs question, and also descriptive. Important lah in a strong needs for online news reporting. Okay. Multimedia, enhance clarity, break up long text, attractive visual learner, improve SEO. Yeah. Right. Types, photo, video, infographic, and also audio. Okay. Example here, SARAWAK, drone footage, eyewitness, live video clips, live reporting on TikTok. These things are attractive for new viewers nowadays. Okay. Social media news writing, key features, conscious, hashtag, don't forget hashtag, emojis, link to full article because they don't really want to read the full article. They want to read the important gist of the story. Full article, you can read more to the link. Some newspaper, uh, nanti berita harian tu apa? Berita harian kah? O Cosmo kah? They generate AI, ringkasan AI of the full story. So you don't want to read all the stories, you go for the ringkasan AI. It's much more easier lah. It's much more easier. Okay, 90% of Malaysian access news via mobile. Yes, 90%. Shift. No one wants to use, no one wants to read newspaper. Newspaper, there are circulation of newspaper just for the sake of readers who still prefer old school way. Yeah. Challenges, pressure to publish first can risk accuracy. You want to be the first, as if you are a part of this viral news trending. Fake news spread fast online. User comments can be abusive or misleading. Best practice, verify. As fast as you want the info to be out there, verify first. Clearly labeled opinions, sponsored or AI generated content. Provide correct updates and moderate user discussion responsibly. Okay. Trends nowadays, blogging, live blogging, podcast. I see a lot of TV station, even newspaper outlet, they love to do podcasts. Podcast brings in money, viewership, and everything. But podcast actually is a trend. Sorry, it's just a trend. It's just a trend. Paul Logan Experience, Logan Paul. Okay, Logan. What's Logan Paul? Logan Paul podcast, something like all these podcaster. Yeah, they get people who are in that particular situation and to discuss more. Okay, AI tools, personalization. Yeah, platforms here, Malaysia, Malaysia Kini, Start Online, Sales.com. For the youth, Sales.com is for the youth. Bernama. Okay. Challenges, fake news on WhatsApp, reduce clickbait trends, reduce credibility, polarization. Some others now pay paywalls. Clickbait, reduce credibility. Clickbait means that different picture, different kind of story, especially used in YouTube. Different thumbnail, different story, just to get people to click. The more you click, the much higher chances of you get view. Example. All right, case study here, Malaysia Kini and summary. Yeah. Digital journalism is a mobile first, fast-paced, and multimedia rich. Good writing is still essential. Headline, news structure. It's like news reporting for newspaper, but in the form of online. Yeah. SEO important, ethical, and also a surviving, growing trend in Malaysia digital scene today. With that, thank you very much for your time. We end our class for this semester for today. And hopefully what you learn online session with me is valuable, informative, and you can use it in your final exam. Okay, for students of Semang Jaya and KL, all the best for final exam. For Sarawak students who are watching this, all the best for your final exam. And then if there is anything that I did wrong, salah silap sebagainya, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, but I hope that all the information given to you is very beneficial. But you may never know, one of you guys going to be journalists along the way. Don't forget, you learn for the best. It is from SEGi College. Okay, guys. Bye.